Las Vegas may shine bright with its famous lights and nonstop energy, but behind the glitter, life here isn't as easy as it looks. From some of the lowest-ranked schools in the country to a job market that's almost entirely focused on tourism and hospitality, finding stability here can feel like a gamble with the odds stacked against you. On top of that, big corporations are taking over local businesses, pushing out the unique shops and culture that used to make Vegas special. It's a city that's changing fast, and not everyone feels like they belong anymore. Quickly hit the like and subscribe button as we dive into why more people are questioning if living in Vegas is really worth it these days. Number 1. Vegas schools are ranked amongst the worst in the nation. If you take a look at how Las Vegas schools rank compared to the rest of the nation, you'd see some of the toughest numbers to face. Many of its public schools in Vegas are among the lowest ranked in the entire United States. For example, Las Vegas High School is ranked around 10,473rd out of over 17,000 high schools nationwide. That's like being in the bottom 40%, not exactly a spot any city wants for its students. To put it into perspective, while the national average for math proficiency is about 50%, only 7% of students at this school meet that level. Reading is only slightly better at 27%, and science proficiency is around 9%. What makes this even more concerning is that 65% of the students there come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds, making it the first place you'd want better schools to help level the playing field. The graduation rate looks good at 90%, but college readiness scores tell a different story. They are very low, around 15 out of 100, showing many students aren't prepared for college-level work. And that's not all. The Clark County School District, which serves most of Las Vegas, is one of the largest in the country, with over 300,000 students, meaning these struggles affect a huge number of families. For many parents, this creates a real problem. If you were hoping to raise your kids in a city with top-quality education, Las Vegas could feel like a place falling behind. That's why people say it has one of the worst school systems for cities its size. And that's a big reason many families worry about staying long-term or moving here at all. Number 2, limited job opportunities outside the tourism, entertainment, and hospitality sectors. Las Vegas is known as the city of bright lights and endless fun. But when it comes to finding a steady job, things aren't as shining for everyone. The city's job market is mostly built around tourism, entertainment, and hospitality. If you're looking for work outside those areas, options are seriously limited. To put it into perspective, over 40% of jobs in Las Vegas are connected to leisure and hospitality, which is way higher than most other cities. That means if you don't want to flip burgers, clean hotel rooms, or deal cards, finding a job can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. And that's not all. This narrow job market has a big effect on the people living in Vegas. When most jobs are seasonal or part-time, workers often face unstable incomes, which causes money stress and hurts motivation. To make it tougher, unemployment here often stays above the national average, hovering around 5.2% compared to 4.2% across the US. For many, that means a constant worry about, what if I lose this job? Or how will I pay my bills next month? If you were to compare, some other big cities offer millions of jobs spread out across tech, finance, healthcare, education, and manufacturing. Las Vegas is still the biggest when it comes to entertainment jobs, but for those dreaming of other career paths, it's one of the toughest places to settle. And that lack of job diversity can make people feel stuck and stressed, leading many to look for better chances elsewhere. Number 3, lack of efficient public transportation. Las Vegas is known for many things, but one thing it's not known for is having good public transportation. In fact, Vegas's public transit system ranks as one of the least efficient and least used amongst big cities in the US. To put it into perspective, cities like New York or San Francisco see millions of people using buses and trains every day. For example, New York's subway alone handles about 3.9 million trips on an average weekday in 2025, with a huge network of nearly 472 stations and over 850 miles of rail combined with commuter trains. In contrast, Las Vegas's public transportation options are far smaller and less connected, mainly consisting of buses and a limited monorail line that doesn't cover most parts of the city. That's the core problem. Las Vegas is one of the most car-dependent cities in America, meaning most people feel forced to own and use a car just to get around. If you live in Vegas, you can't simply hop on a convenient train or bus to run errands, go to work, or visit friends. You almost always have to drive. This is partly because the city is one of the largest metro areas by land size, sprawling over hundreds of square miles where neighborhoods are spread out and services are far apart. So, if you don't have a car, or if your car breaks down, you're stuck with very limited options. And having to rely on a car comes with costs. Think about car payments, gas prices, insurance, maintenance, and parking fees when you go downtown or to the Strip. That adds up quickly. For busy families and younger people, this makes life more expensive and stressful. That's not all. Traffic in Las Vegas can get really bad during peak hours, partly because so many people drive everywhere. The congestion means longer commutes, wasted time, and more pollution. As a matter of fact, if you want to visit the famous Las Vegas Strip using public transport, you'll have to plan carefully. The Las Vegas monorail runs along part of the Strip, but only covers about 3.9 miles with just 7 stations. It doesn't extend to popular areas like downtown Vegas or the airport, so it's not a full solution. The city's bus system covers more ground, but the buses often arrive infrequently, sometimes with waits of 20 minutes or more, and the stops are spaced far apart compared to more transit-friendly cities. So to live comfortably in Las Vegas, owning a car is pretty much essential. That means higher living expenses and less freedom for people who can't or don't want to drive. A big factor making Vegas less appealing as a place to live. For people used to cities with smooth, frequent rail and bus options, Vegas's car culture can feel like a step backward. It's one of the reasons why so many residents say it's hard to get by without a car, and why the city struggles to attract new residents used to more accessible transit. Number 4, overwhelming traffic congestion and dangerous driving behavior. Traffic congestion and dangerous driving in Las Vegas are some of the biggest reasons why living there can be so stressful. To put it into perspective, Las Vegas drivers face one of the highest accident rates in the country, with over 1,100 traffic incidents per 100,000 residents each year. The city's streets are often jammed during rush hours, with vehicles crawling along at frustratingly slow speeds, sometimes less than 10 miles per hour on major roads. Sin City has some of the busiest and most dangerous intersections in the country. For example, the crossing at Flamingo Road and Rainbow Boulevard is notorious for a mix of heavy traffic and accidents caused by people rushing and not paying attention. The same goes for Sahara Avenue and Decatur Boulevard, where confusing left-turn signals add to the mess, making crashes common. Charleston and Rainbow Boulevards are also high-risk spots, with lots of red light runners and dangerous turns that increase accident chances. Now imagine if you were stuck in traffic there. The time wasted during rush hour adds up to countless hours every year. In fact, drivers in Las Vegas lose about 32 hours annually to rush hour traffic jams. That's almost a whole extra day in your life spent just sitting in a car waiting. And that's not all. The heat of the desert makes traffic even worse, as drivers are often uncomfortable and impatient in their cars under the scorching sun. This can lead to reckless driving behaviors such as speeding, aggressive lane changes, and ignoring traffic signals. The increase in aggressive driving has contributed to a rising number of accidents as well. In 2024, over 400 lives were lost on Nevada roads, a 5.6% increase from the previous year. So traffic congestion and dangerous driving aren't just minor annoyances. They're a daily reality that makes Las Vegas one of the most stressful places to drive in the US. This seriously impacts the quality of life for residents, who often say that dealing with traffic is one of their biggest complaints about living in Sin City. If you were thinking about moving there, be prepared for long drives, aggressive driving, and more traffic jams than you might expect from a city that is famous for entertainment and excitement. Number 5, high auto insurance prices. In Las Vegas, car insurance prices are some of the highest in the country, and that's mostly because the city has a big problem: frequent car accidents. If you imagine paying around $3,800 a year just to insure your car, that's about the average cost here in Las Vegas in 2025. To put that into perspective, the national average is closer to $2,400, so people in Sin City are paying way above the national average. That's huge, especially for younger drivers or people who don't make a lot of money. Why is it so expensive? One of the main reasons is that Las Vegas has one of the highest rates of car crashes in the US. In 2021 alone, there were over 20,000 car accidents in the city, which is a lot for a city of its size. That number accounts for about 43% of all accidents in the entire state of Nevada. More crashes mean insurance companies have to pay more for car repairs, medical bills, and lawsuits. So they charge drivers higher premiums to cover those costs. The people most affected are young drivers, especially teens and those in their early 20s. For example, a 20-year-old in Las Vegas might pay as much as $7,000 to $9,000 a year for full car insurance coverage, depending on the company. For older drivers with clean records, prices can be much lower, but even then, rates average around $2,000 to $4,500 annually. Another factor pushing prices up is the Las Vegas driving culture. The city has busy roads packed with tourists who often aren't familiar with the area, aggressive driving styles, and dangerous behaviors like speeding or distracted driving. Plus, there's the relentless desert heat and occasional dust storms, which can make driving riskier and damage vehicles more easily. The high insurance costs also hit businesses that depend on vehicles, like delivery services or rideshare drivers. Those extra expenses often get passed on to customers or workers, making life more expensive for everyone. So if you live in Las Vegas and drive, you not only have to be extra careful to avoid accidents, but also need to prepare for one of the highest car insurance bills in the nation. This combination of frequent crashes and steep insurance costs is a big reason why some people say living here isn't as appealing as it used to be. Number 6, corporate dominance over local businesses. Las Vegas used to be a place where local businesses thrived, and the city's culture felt alive and unique. But now, corporate dominance is changing all that, and it's one of the biggest reasons why people feel like Vegas is losing its soul. Corporate chains and huge companies are expanding faster than ever here. In recent years, Las Vegas saw one of the fastest rates of business growth in the nation, but most of that growth comes from big companies, not the small local ones that gave Vegas its charm. If you were to take a walk downtown or on the Strip now, you'd notice many of the old mom-and-pop shops replaced by corporate franchises. That shift isn't just about buildings or brands, it's about culture. Local stores and family businesses often bring personality to a city, reflecting the history and creativity of their community. When corporate dominance takes over, local flavor gets pushed out. This isn't just sad, it's costly in a way that impacts both residents and tourists. Add in the fact that when local businesses close or get outcompeted by multinational companies, the money spent in the community often leaves the city, hurting local workers and entrepreneurs. It's like the difference between a local farmer's market where farmers directly benefit and a giant supermarket chain where profits go to faraway headquarters. Las Vegas locals feel this loss deeply because it means fewer job opportunities that support families right here, and fewer places where visitors can experience authentic Vegas culture. Imagine you're a tourist looking for a unique souvenir, a handmade craft, or a special meal curated by someone who knows the city inside out. Instead, you find the same cookie-cutter products in generic restaurants found in thousands of other cities. That sameness starts to make Vegas feel like just another city instead of the vibrant playground it once was. More corporate presence also changes the kind of entertainment and events available. Larger companies often push mainstream, high-budget shows that can't always make room for smaller, local artists and performers who once made Vegas feel rich with hidden gems. Corporate dominance over local businesses is changing the very identity of Las Vegas. What was once the city of unique experiences and welcoming locals is becoming a place where everything is designed for quick profit and broad appeal. And for many, that shift is why Vegas is losing the charm that made it special, making it harder to feel like the city belongs to anyone but the big money players. If Vegas wants to bring back its soul, it has to find a way to balance growth with the preservation of its local businesses and culture. Because without that, the city risks becoming a giant, polished box with bright lights but no heartbeat. And that's a future that many longtime lovers of Vegas simply don't want to live in. In the end, living in Las Vegas today isn't what it used to be for many. Yes, it still has its bright lights and big shows. But the truth is, if you're searching for a place that feels like home, with solid opportunities and genuine character. Maybe it's time to look beyond the Strip. What do you think? Is Vegas still worth it, or is it losing its magic? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe for more insider takes on cities across America.